Good morning, children. This is the lecture for class 8, chapter number 9. And the name of the chapter is Food Production. So, in the previous chapter, children, we have discussed about crops, agriculture, crop plants, kharif, rabi crops, all these things we have discussed. Other than that, we had discussed about horticulture and organic farming. So, today the topic that we are going to take is the green revolution. Green revolution is the topic that we are going to take today. Now, as the name is green revolution, so what is that green revolution? It is a period of agricultural productivity. It is a period, you can say, when there is an increase in the agricultural productivity. Agricultural productivity means the things that we grow as agriculture. In agriculture, we increase the productivity. The products we are increasing by growing different crops in agriculture. So this is the time period. Green revolution is a time period when agricultural productivity increased greatly due to the introduction of agronomic technology. Okay, now what is how the agricultural productivity is being increased? It is increased when the farmers, they have started using new type of chemical fertilizers, synthetic herbicides or pesticides were developed, because everyone needs different type of pesticides, herbicides for their fields. So at that time, new chemical fertilizers, synthetic herbicide, pesticides were developed. Now these fertilizers crop resulted to produce with extra nutrient and increased yield. Yield means the quantity of that crop. So what the farmers were using to increase the productivity of their agriculture, they were using the chemical fertilizers, as well as why they were using the chemical fertilizer, just to get the crop that they are growing with extra nutrients. Okay, that crop will be full of nutrients, and the quantity of crop that they are going to grow in their field, that will be increased. So what they have done, application of herbicide control the growth of weeds. When they were using the herbicides, so what are weeds? Weeds are the unwanted plants that grow in the field. So by using those herbicides, what they were doing, they were controlling the growth of weeds, and by using the pesticides, they were destroying the insect and preventing their crop from diseases. So when they were doing all these things, their crop is protected from pest. They were using the herbicides, and now there were not lots of weeds inside the crop. So the resulted crop will be with the increased quantity and with the increased nutrient. Okay, because unwanted plant are not growing, as well as the pest, they are not destroying the crop. So because of that, there is an increase in the production of crop. So that time period when the agricultural productivity is increased due to introduction of agronomic technology. What is that agronomic? Agronomic technology means the use of different type of chemicals in the field. So why as I have told you, why the farmers were using the pesticides, herbicides, just because they want high yield varieties. The name HYV. H is high, Y for yielding, and V is for variety. So they were using that high yield variety. So that is why there is a great change. Okay, when the green revolution occurred, there was lot of agricultural industries were there. Those were able to produce the grains in the large quantity. Okay, the agricultural industries were able to produce large quantity of food grains, and because of these increase in productivity, made it possible to feed the growing human population. As we know, children, the population is increasing day by day. So just feed means providing the food to that growing population, that green revolution has worked a lot. Because of that, high yielding varieties were developed, as well as the increase in the crop is also being done. So that is why green revolution is a time period when there is an increase in the quantity of crop. Okay, just to feed the human population. Now, in 1960s, especially in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, it was started. Okay, we can ask you the question. The green revolution started in India in early 90s. Okay, and the food grain production, especially in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, it was started. These are the first state, those who have started developing this type of crops. Okay, now one main thing is there. An Indian scientist named M.S. Swaminathan played a very important role in implementing and developing the green revolution in India. We can ask you the question, who is M.S. Swaminathan? What is his work in green revolution? So who is M.S. Swaminathan? He is the first Indian scientist who has played an important role in green revolution. So which type of work he has done? He has made our country self-sufficient in wheat production and improved the economic condition of farmer. Okay, what work M.S. Swaminathan has done? What he has done? He has made our country self-sufficient in wheat production as well as improved the economic condition of the farmer. Okay, so this is one of the question. Other than that, because the farmers, their economic conditions were increasing, so many of the industries, they are able to give employment to the large section of Indian population, because large amount of crops they have to collect, they have to cut. So because of that, they are able to provide employment to the people. So because of that, they are producing many type of industries, and in industries they were producing crops. Okay, so when they were producing the different type of herbicides, pesticides, they need at time the people to do the work. So that is why the people, they are getting the employment, they are getting jobs in the factories, in the industries. So because of that green revolution, the India has become sufficient in wheat production, and it helps in increasing the economic condition of the farmer, and it has given job to many people. So this is all about green revolution. What we can do, we can ask you, what is green revolution? Who is the first Indian scientist who has played an important role in the green revolution? What he has done? First, what Mr. M.S. Swaminathan has done in green revolution? So this type of questions we can ask you. So just read the paragraph carefully. The next topic that we are going to take today is the animal husbandry. Now animal husbandry, as the name is animal. Okay, so it is a branch of biology in which we feed animal, we provide them shelter, we take care, and breeding of domestic animal is done. Okay, directly the definition they have given, and we can ask you in the exams also, what is animal husbandry? So animal husbandry is a branch of biology which deals with the feeding, shelter, caring and breeding of domesticated animals. Okay, so what we do in that branch, we just keep the animals with us and we feed them with the proper food, we provide them the space to live, that is shelter, we take care of those animals, and when the animal breed means when they are going to give the birth to the young ones, at that time we take care of those animals. Okay, so now 2 points are there, children. One is the pets and second is the livestock. So pets means the animals that we keep at home just as our companion. So what are our companion? So companion just like dog, cat, parrot, birds, they are just like a companion for us. They are not helping us in doing anything. Just like we can say god, if we are keeping cat at home, if we are keeping rabbits at home, so they are not helping us to do any work. They are just like a companion. They just give us the company. So those animals, those who are domesticated for home, for companionship, are called pets. Okay, one more definition: pets. Now what is livestock? Livestock is the animal, the domesticated animal that we keep at home. Those animals, they provide us food, as well as they help us in doing many work. For example, cow, buffalo, goat, camel, horse, donkey, okay, pig. So why we are keeping pigs at home? People, they keep pig at home. People, they keep hen at home, because hen, they are providing us food. They provide us meat, egg, as well as a horse. They help us in doing many household, many agricultural, many other type of work. So if we are keeping those animal, we are domesticated them at our home for food and work. So those type of animal are called livestock. Now this is the question. Again, one question: what are pets? What is livestock? What is animal husbandry? Now, as I have told you that animal that we are just keeping them for a companionship, these are pets. But livestock, so livestock, which type of product the animal they provide us? So they provide us milk as well as meat. Okay, so the animals that provide us milk are called milch animals. They are called milch animal. Now one more definition: what are milch animal? The milk yielding animals are called milch animals. For example, cow, buffaloes and goat, etc. Second is animals, they provide us meat as well as they lay egg. So we keep those animals just like hen we keep, because people, they use the meat of that hen as well as the egg produced by the hen. Sheep, goat, fish, pig, all these things, they are eaten by animals. The meat of these animals are eaten by human beings. So these are the two type of products they provide us. One is the milk, second is the meat and egg. Now one more definition is here. What are draught animals? Draught animals which are reared for doing heavy work, such as bullocks, camels, elephants, horses, donkeys and mules. These animals are not providing us milk. They are not providing us milk. They are not providing us meat or egg. But these animals, we use them for doing many heavy work. So what will be the definition of draught animals? The animals which are helping us in doing many heavy work are called draught animals. So we can ask you that definition also with example. Now some of the animals, just like sheep, goat, deer, silkworm, honey bees, they provide us with wool, skin, horns, silk, honey respectively. So these animals are also we just domesticate them at our houses. So under which category they will come? They will come under the category of livestock. Okay. Now milch animals, what happen? The milch animals, sometime the milk producing animals, the milk that they give us, that is very nutritious, as well as those sometime mainly in our country we use the cow milk. Okay, other than that, cow milk, every person says that cow milk is the most nutritious thing which help in increasing the mental health as well as the physical health. As well as other than that, we use goat milk and buffalo's milk also. Okay, So some areas camels are also used. They also provide milk to us. The milk of camels are also used. Now, as I am telling you that buffalo is giving milk, cow is giving milk, goat is giving milk. So accordingly, the cows, they have different type of breeds. Okay, breeds means different type of cows, their amount of giving milk is different. Okay, so whenever the persons, they purchase cow, according to as we purchase dog, so we know the different type of dogs are available. So accordingly, which pet we want to keep at home, we purchase such a type of pets. But the persons who domesticate animal for the livestock, they know that which breed is going to give more amount of milk. So according to the breeds of milk giving animals, especially the cow, they are divided into draught, dual and dairy. Okay, draught, dual and dairy animals. Now, as I have told you, draught means the animals which are used for doing heavy work. Okay, bullock carts, plowing the land, transporting material from one place to another. So this type of animals, they give the milk in the less amount, especially the females, they give the milk in the very less amount, but they are used for this type of work. Now, dual purpose means they are quite good in milk giving. Okay, and they are just like the breeds, you have to learn those breeds, children. This is the Dhangi as well as the Tharparkar. Okay, so these breeds, they are the dual. Dual means both the purpose, means the milk giving females, they are the good milk yielder, they give milk in a good amount, and the males, they are good for draught work. Draught work means heavy work. So this type of breeds, the people, they keep at home, especially in Haryana. So these type of, they both the purpose they solve. Females, they are good milk yielder, and the males, they are the good in draught work. So two names you have to learn, dual purpose, two names are there. One is the Dhangi and second is the Tharparkar. Next is dairy breeds. Dairy, as the name is dairy. Dairy means they are very, very good in producing high amount of milk. Okay, so high amount of milk because they are giving, and the bullocks, they are poor for draught purposes. Okay, but they are the dairy. Dairy means they are related to milk. So these type of animals, they provide the high amount of milk, but they are not good for, they are poor for their draught purpose. Okay, so three types are there. Draught, good for heavy work, not good for milk. Good for heavy work, good for milk. And the third one is not good for heavy work but good for milk. So three types of breeds are there. Now, as I have told you, breeds of cow. Now, two we have discussed here. The true breeds of Haryana are Dhangi and Tharparkar. Now, there are many breeds in India. So, accordingly, the breeds, they are according to breeds. Okay, now we have discussed draught, dual and dairy according to their functioning. But now we are going to discuss about their breeds. So, in their breeds, one is the indigenous, that is called Indian breed. Exotic, that is the foreign breed. Okay, and the third type is the cross breeds. So exotic means they are the Indian breeds. So you have to learn the name, children. So that is the Red Sindhi and Sahiwal and Gir. We can ask you, write two indigenous Indian breed. Exotic foreign breeds. So like Jersey, Holstein, Friesian and Brown Swiss. These are the foreign, means these are the breed that we have brought from the foreign. And the next one is the crossbreed. Crossbreed means they are developed by using the indigenous and exotic. Okay, by using the indigenous and exotic. These both the breeds, and other than that many breeds are there. So these both the breeds, when their mating is done, then the new animal that is formed, that is called as cross breeds. Okay, when these two breeds they are crossed. So that crossed breed is developed by mating the bull of exotic breed with the cows of the indigenous ones. So these are Karan, Fries and Frieswald. So why we do that mating? Just to increase the amount of milk. So if cross breeds is there, they are going to produce the milk 2 to 3 times more as compared to indigenous one. Next is, this is we have done about cows. Now some breeds we have about buffaloes also. So already one picture is given in your book, that is Murrah. So this is the original breed of Haryana and Punjab. How much milk it can give children? In annually means in whole year it gives about 1800 to 2500 liters of milk. So that is a very good breed. The name of the breed is Murrah and it is available in Haryana. Second type of breed of buffalo is Mehsana. So that is also a very good breed, but it is available in Gujarat. It gives about 1200 to 2500 liters of milk in annually. Next is Surti. This breed is native of Kaira and Vadodara district of Gujarat. It is also of Gujarat, but the districts are different. Now it gives about 1600 to 1800 of milk in 1 year. So the 3 breeds of buffaloes we had discussed. Some of the breeds of cows we have discussed. We have discussed about animal husbandry, pets, livestock, the Green Revolution, drought, dual and dairy. So these are some of the topics that we had discussed, children. So please go through your book carefully. This is page number 88 and 89 that we are discussing now, and because this chapter is included for your first term. So just make your notes by your own. Question and answers I will give you, but please read the chapter carefully. Further in the next lecture we are continuing with the same chapter. Thank you, children.